You were not educated, you were programmed, and the program was never designed to make you free. If you still think poverty is a personal failure, you're already inside their system. Top secret, Wealth Codex File 001 is now live. Viewer discretion is advised. Once you learn this, you can't unlearn it. If you're done being used by the system, subscribe. File 002 is already unlocked. You just haven't accessed it yet.
The financial elite use exclusive wealth strategies that control 90% of all money. Major banks and financial institutions deliberately keep this knowledge hidden from the public. Top secret, Wealth Codex reveals these proven strategies, designed for both beginners and experienced investors.
Poverty was never an accident. It was engineered, patiently, deliberately, using the most powerful currency in history, the human mind. For more than a century, entire nations have been conditioned to confuse security with freedom and obedience with success. You were trained for this. I was trained for this. Almost everyone was. When the Industrial Revolution reached full steam in the 1800s, the industry faced a problem. Machines were efficient, people were unpredictable. Factories required millions of workers who would arrive on time, follow orders, and repeat the same motions for years. The old system of independent farmers and craftsmen could not supply that kind of human uniformity.
So governments borrowed an idea from Prussia, a nation that had perfected mass obedience through its school system. Children were grouped by age, seated in rows, taught to respond to bells, and rewarded for memorization. This model, tested on soldiers and civil servants, was imported across Europe and later America. By 1902, American industrialists were funding new foundations to replicate it nationwide. Among them, John D. Rockefeller's General Education Board and Andrew Carnegie's Foundation for Teaching. Their stated goal was public enlightenment, but their practical goal was labor stability. Factories could plan production only if the workforce behaved predictably. So schooling became a behavioral factory, turning curiosity into compliance. Compulsory education laws spread rapidly. Within one generation, self-employment fell, wage labor became the norm. By 1910, over 70% of the labor force worked for wages. By 1950, nearly 90%. The transformation was complete. The modern poor were not the unemployed, they were the dependently employed. Once obedience was institutionalized, the system reinforced it with emotion. Trap 1. Salary addiction. Your brain releases dopamine when your paycheck arrives. Stability feels safe, but safety replaces growth. The habit of exchanging time for guaranteed money slowly erases the instinct to take creative risk. Trap 2. Debt dependence. After World War II, consumer credit expanded from necessity to identity. Mortgages, car loans, credit cards all promised dignity through borrowing. Debt turned yesterday's worker into today's consumer, forever servicing the same machine that pays him. In economics textbooks, this is called aggregate demand. In human terms, it is voluntary captivity. Trap 3. Fear of risk. From childhood, you were graded, ranked, measured. Every failure recorded, every deviation punished. So you learned that mistakes are dangerous. Before I continue, like this video, subscribe and share the video so that more people are liberated from poverty. Money became debt by definition. Those who print credit rule those who borrow it. The rich follow a different curriculum. They do not trade hours for income, they trade assets for cash flow. They acquire stakes in the systems that others depend on: energy, information, distribution, and debt itself. They understand that the printer matters more than the paycheck. Wealth is not earned, it is engineered. For them, education never ended with graduation. It began with ownership. For everyone else, education ended the moment obedience was achieved. Escaping the architecture of poverty begins with awareness. The system is not evil, it is efficient. It was designed to maintain order, not prosperity. But order without autonomy becomes servitude. When you start to build assets instead of trading time, you begin to rewrite your role. When you question every safe assumption, school, job, loan, you see the invisible walls. And when you teach others to do the same, you no longer serve the system, you compete with it. The poor were manufactured, the rich were self-designed, and every generation must choose which factory to rebuild, the one that molds the mind or the one that frees it. This was Codex File 01 Decode File 02, when you are ready to stop being managed and start being sovereign. End of transmission.
Stop missing out on financial opportunities. Subscribe and get on the inside.